Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in today. This is part 2 of the Heroes update. Today we're going to be going everything about Archer Heroes. I'm going to go over the best hero combinations, skills you should use with those, the right equipment you should match them up with, what you should do with your mounts, and everything in between. So to start off by giving an overview of these Archer Heroes, there are two kinds of Archer Heroes. There are Archer Heroes that deal poison, and there are Archer Heroes that deal burn damage. So those are the two things. Season 2, Yulmi, and Season 3, Leandra, deal poison damage. As you can see here. Oh, wrong one. This one. They deal poison damage, and the poison damage that they deal is a lot greater than that you'll get out of something like an Ardor or a Verdani. It just doesn't deal as much damage per second. So the best current combination in the game right now is going to be Leandra and Yulmi. So if you're in Season 3 and wondering what are the best two Archer Heroes you should be focusing on, there is your answer. It's Leandra and Yulmi. And for skills, you definitely want to pair them up with this Season 3 Poison Arrow. There's another Season 3 skill that I don't have unlocked yet that also increases poison damage. You want to add that on here too. I like Hera's Curse just because I have him paired up with Ardor right now, so I do try to boost that burn damage. But obviously, if you're pairing him up with Leandra, you just want to recover rage as quickly as possible and deal as much poison damage as possible. And so going into my build, I would say this is the second strongest of the game. I've got Ardor and Yulmi matched up together. Yulmi deals a lot of poison damage, more so than Verdani does, and so that's why these two are a better matchup. And then out of the two, Ardor or Verdani, Ardor also just does more damage than Verdani. So that's the next best combination in the game. And you saw my Yulmi skills. So when it comes to my Ardor skills, I'm just boosting everything about burning. And so Fiery Detonation and Rage Leech are great to have on your Ardor hero at all times. You can also throw First Strike in there as well if you like that rage recovery. But I just think Hera's Curse and Poison Arrow are better. There's still a Season 2 and a Season X Archer skill that I'm trying to unlock. So once I get those unlocked and have those at least a couple stars up, then I will swap out a couple of those for the Season 2 and Season 4 one. So moving down the list, if you are not in Season 2 yet and you are working with Archer and Verdani, that's going to be your best Archer combination in the beginning of the game. Well, I should say in the middle of the game, because if you are in the very beginning of the game, Olenna is not a bad hero whatsoever. There are still plenty of people that use her, even in the season that I'm in, just because her burn damage is almost as high as what you'll get out of some of these legendary heroes, along with her active skill and her passive skill, They burn the target a lot, and so when the target's always burning, then heroes like Ardor and Verdani are always doing damage, and so it's definitely not a bad hero whatsoever. But if you're in that middle game wondering about two legendary heroes to upgrade and make your main Archer march, that's going to be Ardor and Verdani. But then if you're newer in the game, you could absolutely match Ardor up with Olenna. I would stick away from Verdani. Verdani is just not as good as Ardor is. Ardor is definitely the best Season 1 Archer hero there is. So if you're trying to pick one of them, I would pick Ardor over Verdani. And so that covers all of the Archer heroes in the game. I'm sure IGG plans to come out with new Archer heroes since they just released some Season X Pikeman heroes. If you want to see that video, I will put it in the top corner right now for you to click on. But for right now, we're going to get into equipment you should use and kind of the progression of equipment, how you should upgrade these. So I'm sure most of you by now know what type of monster gear you need to use on your Archer heroes. You can just look at them all and see which one does the most amount of damage. When it comes to Archers, personally, for my mounts, I am pushing defensive stats just because, as you guys all know, on the battlefield, Archers are always the first heroes that are attacked just because they die so quickly. So I'm really trying to boost a lot of my defensive skills on my Archer heroes. And then once you want to get into this divine gear, I recommend doing the headset and the feet first. You want to do those first just because the stats that you'll get from those are a lot greater than in the pieces that you'll use for these two. As you can see, like I've got all my epic gear down here, and then I've got my monster gear up here. Eventually, I will go through and swap these out for this type of gear, but as for right now, I'm keeping it here just because I get better stats from this than I would have with as high of a substitute as I could get in there. So that's just the best that I have for now, but eventually I will be upgrading those. And then when it comes to your mounts, here's what I'd use for mounts. As you can see, I'm trying to push my defensive stats here on both of my archer mounts. They're not great right now, but it's a work in progress. When it comes to skills, you want to try and boost. If you're using Leandra and Yomi, the Season 3 and Season 2 heroes, you want to be boosting poison damage as much as possible. That's just because it matches up with those heroes' talents. If you're using Ardor or Verdani, you want to try and boost burning damage. But in my case, I'm using Yomi, which is a poison hero, and I'm using Ardor, which is a burning hero, so I'm trying to boost both. And so that's why you see this skill here, and eventually I will try and get the same skill on Ardor until hopefully my Leandra gets up to speed or a new Season X hero comes out that I'll start to focus on. And so that covers absolutely everything for Archer Heroes. I hope this video helped and gave you a really good overview and you understand Archer Heroes a little bit better in this game and how they cooperate. If you appreciated the video, I'd really love a subscription down below. And like always, I will see you guys in the next one.